Hey, what's up guys? Your average wargamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And today I'm going to be featuring Tier 10 Tech 3 aircraft carrier, and that is USS Essex. Now Essex, I have posted a video multiple times, and this will be another video for Essex because in my opinion, personal opinion, it is one of the strongest aircraft carrier in World of Warships. And if you understand its gameplay, and if you know the strength and weaknesses that it has, you can actually able to get a lot of value. So keep watching this video, and if you do like my content and gameplay, please give me a subscription. That would help a lot. And now I'm just dropping casually the incomparable in front of Georgia and Hindenburg, and did some damage and actually shoot down some of the fighters that Richthofen has put with his fighters as well, which are obviously another strength of Essex. Like, Essex have these really good rockets, and these are 12 of them, tiny Tims, which are pretty infamous in dealing a lot of damage. They do 5,400 alpha damage, and you have seen that I got a fire on incomparable. Pretty okay damage. I mean, it's not really impressive considering I only land 3 rockets, but if you're able to land like 8-9 rockets, they will rack up a lot of damage. And now in this case, incomparable definitely damage control, and I really want to drop this guy like incomparable, since the HE bombs of the Essex can actually penetrate at least this Georgia. Now in this case, Georgia does have only 38mm armor, and since he didn't shoot down the planes, you can see how much damage that I can pump out on this guy. Like, look at that, 20,000 damage in just one drop. That is pretty good, and I got double fires as well. So I was looking to drop this HE bombs to the incomparable, but then eventually I know that incomparable does have some 50mm extremities of deck armor, so instead I opted out and takes towards the Georgia with these bombs, and you have seen what I did to him. And that is what the strength of Essex is really about, and hence the reason why, if you know what you're doing, and if the battleship like Georgia is going to be isolated here, you can do a lot of damage. Now I just make Georgia DCP, and I do have torpedo bombers. Now the tactical squadrons, which is HE rockets and bombs, are pretty good, but torpedo bombers get this to another level because they have pretty insane damage. Now in this case, I'm trying to drop this on Georgia, and you can see you also have heal. And in this case, someone actually got a fire on this poor Georgia, which already damage controlled double fire. As you can see, the torpedo speed of these A6 planes is pretty nice. As you can see, like torpedo given me an extra flood, which is pretty nice, and I want to get another torpedo hit on this Georgia, and look at the drop again on this Georgia. Now here you can see that I will eventually going to get another flood on this guy, and I got 3 torpedo hits. So look at that guy. He's basically obliterated down to basically like nothing. And this is the thing that Essex can absolutely do. I got 5 torpedo hits and 2 floods, and that Georgia basically almost dead. Now he actually DCP'd double flood, and he basically just survives in this game. And that's the power of Essex. Literally, you can absolutely crazy smash battleships like this if you know what you're doing. And in this case, I know and utilize the strengths of Essex pretty much out there. Now here, in this case, I might be able to give a bit of a better glimpse that how I might able to do some damage to this incomparable. Now in this case, incomparable is sort of around the island, so I might not get good shot, but let's see. Still got 4 rockets. I mean, it's not impressive. It only, 4 rockets means that I only hit 1/3 of the, rockets that Essex has. So yes, you will obviously going to do less damage, and obviously incomparable does, got a lot saturated, and that's the reason why I just, I didn't get much damage. But anyways, I will now come up with these bombs again, and we'll try to set fires, even though incomparable definitely have some extremities of armor like 50mm. So yeah, there's a chance that he will not get that much damage and shatter some of the HE bombs. And yeah, as you can see here, I got 3 non-pens, and hence the reason why they are not going to be that effective against these sort of battleships like Japanese battleship that have 50mm deck armor, 57mm attack armor on Yamato particularly, and some other ships that has 50mm attack armor like Kurfürst. I mean, even though they have big superstructures, but still, unlike Ohio, Georgia, they have 80mm armor, and even British and French battleship does have 32mm, so those are pretty vulnerable against these bombs. But never mind. Now, again, I have basically chosen incomparable with these torpedo bombers, and you will eventually find out that this big giant incomparable have basically no chance to basically dodge these torps. Now, I don't understand the reason why he basically turned off his AA. Like, is he thinking like he's a destroyer or something? I mean, that is baffling to me. Like, this is like really baffling. Now here, obviously we are losing a lot of ships. I mean, they have not lost a single ship. Now in this case, I think incomparable will going to die with these torpedoes, as you can see here. And obviously there is a Georgia that is trying to turn out. So I decided to maybe drop this guy here and get some torpedo hits, but he will definitely shoot down some of my planes. And I will get a, yeah, at least I will most likely get 2 torpedo hits if possible. And in this case, Georgia is trying to run away. And well, I had created a pretty massively nice crossfire. And well, Georgia is dead. And hence the reason why these torpedo bombers are really, really powerful. I really enjoy playing Essex just because that it does not have sort of, you know, any weaknesses except for the hull that it has. It has 30mm hull, by the way. And sorry, like the extremities of Essex in terms of its armor profile is actually probably the weakest in this entire game at tier 10. I mean, it's having this weakest hull, but still it obviously does have access to smoke. As you can see with the rockets, you have access to this consumable, which is basically smoke that you can actually lay down for allied ships or for even yourself. Essex getting wrecked, by the way, did 9,000 damage, and I was talking about that, you know, John Bart doesn't have really good armor. I mean, you can do the same thing with the bombs, and same thing with the rockets. In this case, John Bart is broadsiding, so the rockets does pretty decent damage. And again, you can do even more damage to John Bart if you can land some bombs. Now here, I will try to basically go towards other target, I think. But yeah, Essex, it is definitely insane. I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can do like pretty decent damage in just like 8 minutes into the game. And finally, our division mates, Conde and Annapolis, by the way, that's a pretty dope division. It's pretty powerful, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, Conde and Annapolis are definitely some really strong, you know, cruisers in this entire game. So you can see the carry potential is gonna be pretty insane for this division. But anyways, talking about the fighters, I will, you know, explain a bit about them because, well, those fighters of Essex are pretty powerful in basically, you know, denying enemy fighters. Like, they have really good enhanced reaction, like 2.5 seconds base, so you can do pretty good with those fighters as well if you don't know. Now in this case, Hindenburg, like heavy cruisers particularly, because they usually don't have really high amount of armor. In this case, it has 30mm armor, so you will eventually penetrate basically everywhere on Hindenburg, which is pretty nice. And in this game, as you can see here, there is a Thrasher, and their whole enemy team is on sea. We sort of losing the game before, and well, I think the Conde just smashed him with his F key button, and Thrasher didn't have much time except to die because, yeah, obviously the F key of Conde is pretty broken, to be honest. And you can see that even the Annapolis shooting the F key on the Z42 and eventually kill him. So there's massive threat coming, and there's a chance that we might lose this game. But again, I smoked up my Annapolis, by the way, if you didn't see that. And this will help him a lot. And again, that's the potential of Essex, really, that you can actually support your division mates pretty well. And in this case, I'm dropping not only the Annapolis, but also the Hindenburg in front. And you can see that I still have some rockets remaining. And hopefully we'll be able to get some good strike. Never mind, it was not the best, but hey, you get 1 pen. It does not do anything. But at least what I can do is I will just keep support the Annapolis. And since Annapolis just radared, so there is a submarine, which Annapolis obviously will try his best to basically deny. And there is Annapolis and Hindenburg that is still remaining with some HP, especially the Annapolis. He's pretty low. and someone just smashed the Hindenburg, which is pretty nice. So hopefully we will have a chance of winning this game, even though it does not look good. And again, the power of this insanely broken division will help a lot. Now Yamato, which is pretty good, killed the Annapolis, and I was thinking of dropping these bombs to the submarine. Now, well, the U-251 actually will be able to dodge these bombs, I think, because he get into the the periscope depth. So I was thinking that I might be able to get some damage, but he didn't basically take damage because he get into the periscope depth where the bombs will not going to hit, which is unfortunate, but still, nevertheless, at least I basically bait him, or at least make him to go underwater. Now I have Annapolis and Hindenburg remaining on the B, and I want to basically drop this Annapolis. Now Annapolis does have really decent AA. I smoked up my Annapolis again, because he definitely needs some smoke, and obviously he can get a lot of value from it. And well, he's getting Citadel from my Annapolis. I'm just dropping rockets pretty much here, and hopefully able to get some fire or some damage, even though he's turning in. So I'm expecting yeah, that I won't get anything. Unfortunately, well, when you use rockets against cruisers, if they basically turn in and don't show their broadside, well, the rockets have pretty less chance of hitting them, and this is exactly the case. But on the other hand, the bombs are a lot better and versatile, and torpedo bombers are also pretty good. And in this case, I'm using torpedo bombers. Now I know that the Republic is pushing with the Hydro, and well, our Annapolis finally managed to kill their submarine, and I need to just make a crossfire against this Annapolis here, right? So what I will do, I will most likely gonna try to basically drop this Annapolis from in this angle, because again, you can actually slightly turn. In this case, Annapolis does have defensive AA, which could be a bit of a problem, but I do have a heal, and I will just use and drop this Annapolis pretty quickly, and hopefully we'll be able to do some damage and leave the Annapolis here, because I know that someone will kill him, and in this case Conde did the pretty good job. And I will use another attack on this Richthofen, because I do have one squad, or at least one attack remaining, and I can get maximum damage if I drop the Richthofen, which I did exactly. And that's pretty nice. We killed the Annapolis, and I also did some damage to Richthofen as well, which will net me almost 20,000 damage. So I was happy with this result, and now I can go and drop the Hindenburg with rockets most likely. And by the way, I think the CV did get his planes into those fighters, which kind of sucks for him. And finally, our Annapolis also did kill the Hindenburg, which was pretty nice. As you can see, the game changed pretty quickly because our combination of Conde and Annapolis seems to be pretty powerful and pretty oppressive, to be honest. So, well, we pulled this game off. And in this case, well, I have spotted, well, the Elbing. Now, I just use rockets because maybe there's a chance of getting some rocket hits, which sometimes it does happen. And in this case, I got 4 rocket hits, which I was also kind of just don't remember that I did that much damage. But again, you can do that with A6 pretty much. But here, I think my positioning was a bit too much on the corner, and I should be around to the area where the B cap's supposed to be. So I should be pushing here in a carrier, and that's very important because with the tactical squadrons, if you are not playing a bit aggressive in A6, you are not going to get a lot of value. And the reason why is that if you are closer to the target, you will drop that guy and you will come very quickly to the target again, simply because your carrier is placed or positioned a bit aggressive. In this case, I was not having that situation. So this is something which you should keep in mind. And well, what I'm doing here is I'm actually trying to support my Conde since the Richthofen is now started to attack him. And well, this is probably the perfect time that I can actually support my division mate. In this case, I'm doing exactly for the Conde, since well, Richthofen does have a lot of planes. So hopefully I will manage to get some damage. And now I will try to find out the Elbing, who is somewhere around here. And hopefully, I did find out the Elbing. And you know what? This is gonna be the end of Elbing. Unfortunately, he doesn't have much AA good enough that he can basically able to deny that bomb hit. And I basically killed him at the end. Again, it is pretty powerful. The A6 is so good against destroyers. And basically all armaments, even torpedo bombers, are also pretty good. So that was pretty nice. The Vermont is actually trying to be in a kiting position, so I know that I can try to drop this guy or maybe spot the Ristoffen. If I spot the Ristoffen, hopefully the Conde can actually smash him if he's kind of broadside, but I'm not sure that what I'm going to do. But I'm just gonna hope that I will drop at least either anyone. I smoked up the Conde again, which I now remember that I did that because it's a replay. I almost forget that what I did in this game. But anyways, I'm just gonna go and drop this Vermont. Now Vermont is behind the island, which gives me slightly bit of an advantage of not going to get my plane shot down, even though he just popped his defensive AA. So yeah, that's okay. Even still, I managed to get a good strike on this Vermont, and as you can see, I did 6 penetration, and I got a fire, which actually, I think he damage control. Perfect time to get a permanent fire, and finally we'll go and drop the torpedo bombers. Now in this case, I'm just gonna go very quickly towards the Vermont, and let's go. Okay, so I skipped some of the part because I have to, take some time to reach towards the target. And now I'm finally dropping this Vermont again and try to get a fire maybe, if possible. But you can see the dispersion of the bombs can be wonkier, but funny enough, I got all 9 penetrations on its entire superstructure, which is pretty okay. And I still have almost full torpedo squadron intact, except one plane, which is okay. And I mean, you do have heal ready, so Vermont with its initial strike won't be able to shoot down, and then he will shoot down again once the heal runs out, which is again a really good advantage of playing Essex. Now Vermont is trying to kite away, which I can clearly see, and well, I do have a bit of a good chance, actually a really good chance to basically kill the Vermont. Conde will die obviously, because he can simply overmatch, and I think Conde basically does the damage with the burst fire, I believe. And well, that gives me a bit of a time to basically land a good torpedoes on this Vermont. Now he's turning out to basically dodge some drops, and he also popped defensive AA. But honestly, you can see that Essex with the field can basically tank this without any issue whatsoever. In this case, Vermont is trying to basically do that, and well, even the 3 torpedoes are enough to kill Vermont, and that's basically the game over. So yeah, tell me that why I would not play Essex over Midway. I mean, I find Essex to be a lot much more stronger. As of now, I feel that compared to Midway, it's a lot better. This is my personal opinion again, but I feel that Essex is a better ship than Midway, and you can still do pretty good shenanigans against destroyers and basically all the other ships in the game. So, I mean, you earn decent credits because it's a good game. 203k damage, some torpedo hits, some bomb hits, which is nice. 4 kills, and as you can see, combat scout, even though the patrol fighter does not spot, except for 2 kilometers, I still spot a lot and get still combat scout, which is hilarious to watch. Confederate, and then I got division achievements, which is pretty nice. So team score 2.7k base XP. Our Conde really played well, as well as Annapolis, and this shows how much potential you have when you are playing this filthy division. Conde, Essex, Annapolis, all on 2.7k base XP. We basically literally taken their game by just playing some of the most strongest ships in the game. That's how powerful division can be nowadays, with the super ships with a CV. My goodness. It's unbelievable to watch 2.7k base XP across all 3 of our division ships. That's pretty crazy. And as you can see, did damage to basically all the targets. By the way, those 4 torpedoes that I basically did some like almost 20,000 damage on this Ristoffen, which was pretty nice. And that was the game. I hope you liked it and you find this Essex gameplay helpful. And if you do, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you into the next one. Peace out.